I've been saying this over the past couple of days, and this right here might end up being the top example, but 2023 has been a wild ass news year, but I didn't think that we'd end up having people simping for Osama Bin Laden. Listen, man, shout out Ryan Dawson for really exposing all of the stuff that's out there, okay? Like the letter itself, like I can read it and also understand that, yeah, Osama had some beef with the United States, but at the end of the day, he orchestrated terror attacks that ended up leading to the deaths of thousands of people. So, no, I'm not going to go ahead and, just shout this from the rooftops. And if anybody's dumb enough to go ahead and say that he was right, they should probably be thrown from those rooftops. But then again, I'm getting ahead of myself when we're talking about the demographic of people unironically simping for the words of a terrorist. The hell are you guys doing out there? Anyways, that just goes to show how much fatherless behavior's out there. Bin Laden's letter to the United States stuns young Americans. Yeah, but so does a test of all 50 United States. Anyways, a decades-old document allegedly written by Osama Bin Laden entitled Letter to America. Something else that I find weird about this situation, tell me that a certain country is losing the public perception battle very, very badly without having to tell me a certain state is losing the public relations battle on a large scale. Like, it's getting so bad for, we'll just go ahead and say foreign country A. Foreign country A is losing a PR battle so badly that they have to pull out a document written by Osama bin Laden that just somehow mentions a certain country. Huh, weird. But yes, it went viral on TikTok, bruh, with some young Americans believing that the Al-Qaeda founder made valid points about their own country. The two-page document was published by The Guardian. I would show you it and we could go over it, but The Guardian has pulled it and hadn't made mention, at least at the time of recording, about why they got rid of it. Probably because, I don't know, maybe they were getting accused of being terrorist apologetics. I don't know. Wrote in 2002 as a polemic against the United States and the explanation of his ideology that led to the orchestration of the 9/11 attacks. No, there's a multitude of things, and basically, like, my full history on this is a little bit fuzzy, but Osama bin Laden comes from the second richest family in Saudi Arabia, only behind the Crown family. He went to go fight with the Mujahideen against the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. Okay, successfully drove them out. And then when the United States was going to war against Iraq during the first Gulf War, Osama was gonna come over and help out and defend the homeland. But they're like, no, we're good. Okay, we got the United States on our side. And he's like, for fuck's sakes. And then he ended up leading his holy crusade against the United States from there. That's the impetus of it. Okay, those are painting with exceptionally broad strokes, but he had a long time hate boner for the United States. While the incendiary document is now 21 years old, I'm sure it is, some have seen the text as a way that it makes sense in current world affairs, including the Israeli-Hamas war. Wow, who could have possibly seen that this 21-year-old document would somehow get released right now of all times? Just strange, right? No, it just makes sense, okay? They were feeling nostalgic, just like Joe Biden trying to hastily withdraw all the troops from Afghanistan. Simply feeling nostalgic. Don't think, it's just a simple coincidence, guys. Don't worry about anything, terrible going on right now in a certain place and then using this as a distraction. Of course not. Bin Laden's words have been described as mind-blowing and a revelation. Well, it's not the first mind that he's blown, but this is the first one that didn't result in crime scene cleaners needing to come and take care of the mess. A search for Letter to America on TikTok has shown some of the most popular related clips have over 1 million views each. It's wild and everyone should read it, said one TikTok user, warning that the letter had left her very disillusioned and confused. Why are you listening to political opinions of women? Another user talked of having an existential crisis after reading the document and having her entire viewpoint on life changed by it. If you're unironically taking life advice off of fucking TikTok, bro, the same platform that was telling kids to eat Tide Pods, But we're talking about an entire generation raised by single mothers who were heroes, by the way. It's actually so mind-blowing to me that terrorism has been sold as this idea to the American people, that this group of people, this random group of people, just suddenly wakes up one day and just hates you. It doesn't make sense. Well, yeah, of course, the way that it was sold to everybody, like 9/11 was just orchestrated by 13 guys taking over a couple of planes with fucking box cutters. It's like, no. It's way more in-depth from there. Once again, shout out Ryan Dawson, Empire Unmasked. Check it out if you want the dots connected. A few TikTok reactions to the letter shows recreating their joy at hearing of Bin Laden's death in 2011. And again, I will go ahead and tap dance to that because, fuck, I remember when that was announced. The one good thing about the Obama administration. And then it was immediately undermined by, what, you don't want to show his body or have any proof of that and you're just going to go ahead and fucking throw him overboard into the ocean, never to be seen again. Okay, if you wanted to go ahead and quell any of the conspiracy theories, you could have had some proof, but no, you wanted to do right by him. Fuck is whatever, man. Obama's such a fucking failure, worst president ever, until, his third term, which we're currently living under. Then contrasting it with their shock at reading the letter in 2023, adding the phrase, he was right. Nah, man. No, he wasn't. Okay, and that's not just me trying to capitulate to the YouTube terms of service. If you've been watching me long enough, you know that I don't really like to fucking play that game. And I've got like the 15 different fucking strikes to prove it. I'm just saying, Osama Bin Laden is a piece of shit, and he's rotting where he deserves to be right now. Bin Laden, the son of a wealthy Saudi businessman, founded Al-Qaeda, or the base, in 1988 following the Soviet defeat and withdrawal from Afghanistan, a conflict in which he fought. Exactly. Okay, I knew I was getting some of this stuff right. Okay, under his leadership, the group launched several deadly attacks and bombings in various nations, including the attacks on September 11th, 2001, where terrorists hijacked 4 airliners and actually hijacked other planes, but we don't really want to get into all of that stuff, right? In the eastern United States, and yeah, they attempted to hijack another one in the subsequent days in California as well, but again, we don't need to get into any specifics, right? Because the media won't. Crashing 3 of them against the 2 towers of the World Trade Center in New York and the Pentagon. Oh, okay, it's like, no, there were 2 planes that hit the World Trade Center, for as much as those stupid, goofy-ass fucking truthers want to say it's all holograms and a controlled demolition. No, you bunch of fucking idiots. Again, Ryan Dawson, Empire Unmasked, for Christ's sakes. And the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. Exactly. No, there was no hole in the side of the building, and how could you have that? It's, again, please, just check it out. The 4th plane crash in the field of Pennsylvania. Yeah, which thankfully people... It was like, well, fuck, we're going to die. Might as well make sure that we don't take anybody else out with ya. And that one, I do believe, wasn't that the one that was heading for the White House? Or it was heading for something. In October the same year, Bin Laden was added to the U.S. Most Wanted Terrorist list. The 9/11 attacks killed nearly 3,000 Americans and injured thousands more. In the letter, Bin Laden accused the United States of being responsible for the oppression of Palestinians because of its support of Israel. Seems to be pretty fucking convenient that this letter would come out right now, huh? Especially under these types of hot-button issues popping up right now, huh? Weird. The creation and the continuation of Israel is one of the greatest crimes, and you are the leader of its criminals, Bin Laden wrote. Each and every person whose hands have become polluted in the contribution towards this crime must pay its price, and pay it heavily. Yeah, it kind of reads like this one letter that just managed to show up at I think the White House or the Capitol building or something like that, where they sent the anthrax. If you guys also remember that timeline as well, right before that very convenient and very justified invasion of Iraq. I know, right? But when vials of anthrax turned up, and there was a letter that was in there, and it said death to America and death to another country that was in there. Yeah, very strange. Very, very strange. Okay. I'm sure this is not at all, a convenient release. No. This just so happened to be released by The Guardian right now. Of course, Saudi-born militant then wrote that the Palestinians had to be revenged along with the people of Afghanistan. Why would... Okay, I also just find this interesting because, yeah, he was a Saudi national, and then he ended up having his passport revoked And why would he talk about the Muslims specifically in Palestine, okay? Like, he wanted a one-world caliphate. He wanted Sharia law everywhere. Why would he specifically single out and target one specific group of people? It doesn't make a lot of sense. U.S. purported role in the oppression of Palestinians and Muslims, according to Bin Laden, was the justification for murdering of American civilians. I don't really care about the words of a fucking psychopath and the fact that TikTokers end up getting brainwashed by him. And the fact that TikTok, okay, will scrub videos of anti-Israeli Gen Zers fawning over Bin Laden's vile 2002 letter to America because it clearly violates our rules and supporting any form of terrorism is once again, and something else that I've been talking about a lot in the previous few weeks, is just another step along the way in quelling dissenting opinions. What do I mean by that? Let's continue on. TikTok has blasted users promoting a vile letter written by Osama Bin Laden in regards to 9/11 atrocities and promised to remove any content referring to it. Content promoting this letter clearly violates our rules on supporting any form of terrorism, TikTok policy, wrote in a post on X, formerly Twitter. We know. We are proactively and aggressively removing this content and investigating how it got onto our platform. The video sharing platform claims the number of videos of TikToks is small. Reports of its trending on the platform is inaccurate. No. There's a lot of shit that ended up making its way across, and especially some reposts on Twitter, which I'm sure will probably violate YouTube's terms and service, especially this chick right here. Hadn't seen the black chick who said anything about this, but I definitely seen stills of this chick right here, not necessarily knowing what the fuck she's talking about, because again, listening to a woman on politics, this is not unique to TikTok and has appeared across multiple platforms and the media. Post added Bin Laden. Yeah. We know all about, OBL. You've heard the name a couple of times. In the viral letter, Bin Laden spews anti-American, anti-Semitic, and anti-Western viewpoints. If you go ahead and try to connect all that stuff, anti-American, okay, anti-Western, yeah, part of that Anglosphere, that makes sense. Anti-Semitic. I think that seems like it's a little bit attached there, but okay. Citing one of the main reasons for 9/11 being the U.S. support of Israel. Yep. Time of viewing, the video with the hashtag Letter to America has been viewed 7.3 million times. Extraordinarily, the majority are claiming support for the twisted reasoning Bin Laden lays out without a thought for the freedom he criticizes. Or for the fact that, did anybody just do a cursory amount of checking if this was even Bin Laden writing this fucking letter to begin with, and that this wasn't just, once again, another conveniently placed psyop at a very crucial time when just about everything a certain state is leaking out is either falling on deaf ears or has been taken up and thoroughly debunked. I'm just wondering, man, if you are losing public perception battle so bad that you need to drum up one of your most covert acts of all time in order to just try to recontextualize the events. Oh my God, man, like you're losing bad. Just fucking pack it in at this point in time. Don't worry. Those fucking checks from another country will still make it over, guys. It'll totally be fine. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. And Allahu Akbar!